Your story may not have such a happy beginning, but that doesn't make you who you are. It is the rest of your story. Who you choose to be.
Hey, what's up guys? Jay Martin here. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a while since I've last done a storytime type video, but this is a different type of storytime. Not like the previous ones in my channel where I talk about the jokester, degenerate side of me that likes to have fun and stuff during my teen years. That's cool and all, but today, this storytime is going to be the other side of me that believes I'm capable of something grand, which is the whole point of this channel in the first place. To connect with people like you that knows you're capable of more and is willing to pay any price to turning that dream into reality. Alright, so today I'm going to talk about my why. Hopefully it brings some inspiration to you, maybe some motivation, and feel free to share your story down below and tell me where you're hearing this from. I'd always love to know. So, I grew up with a lot of adversity, grew up pretty tough, and I hate saying that because it's so trite. I know everybody just says it nowadays, but I'm not gonna go deep on how I grew up, how I was bullied, and how I overcame that. I've made a separate video talking about that already, so if you're interested, I'll add cards to that. So, the entirety of my childhood was predicated on whose love do you crave more? And that was a genuine question I had to answer growing up. Like, I had to choose. My family dynamics in my household, sad to say, but it's my truth, was lukewarm at best. There was constant fighting and chaos between my parents, and like I mentioned, I had to decide who I wanted to stay with. It was either my mom or my dad, till they finally split up when I was about 12 or 13. When it came to my siblings, I just couldn't really click with them. In school, I was an atrocious student. Barely getting into high school, I got rejected by 14 different schools until one finally accepted me. Which, by the way, if you grew up in an Asian household, you would know how much being a good student matters. And I had no goals in life. I was shy, I was self-conscious about being a minority growing up in Hong Kong. My religion was different, I looked different, I had zero talent, and I was just an insecure kid. I had low self-esteem. And all that unknowingly at the time, all compounded, and I felt stupid. I felt I was being beaten down by the whole system. I didn't know what I would do until ultimately I realized I can't give the so-called system what it wants, and my only solution is to see myself as stupid or let history be the ultimate judge. After moving out of Hong Kong, where I was born and raised, to go to the Philippines, where my bloodline is originally from, that whole transition really impacted me. It was a way to start from scratch with my own life, even though I didn't choose to, because I was tricked to moving there. It was so sudden, and I already had things going on in Hong Kong. I was in the middle of my school year, and my father basically just went, hey, adapt. But I ended up finishing my high school education. This was like how many years ago? And it's funny, I remember during my graduation was when I finally got to see my mom and dad in the same roof together during the ceremony, which was great, but I was utterly terrified and deeply convinced a SWAT team would show up at any moment to ruin the whole thing. But I celebrated the night with both of them separately. And it was in that night when I was with my mother, who just visited from Hong Kong. I didn't get to see her much at all because she worked there. I remember we were driving home from dinner and she asked me, what do you want to do in your future? Who do you want to be? And I thought about it for a minute as I was driving us in the car ride, probably going home, couldn't remember. But I always thought about who it was I wanted to become, but I never got to articulate it fully. Like, I never envisioned it. I never visualized it. I never had clarity on it because I was just so focused on being distracted by other things, doing other things that I never thought about what I should be doing. But I said, and I got chills right now just saying this because it gets me every time, and I don't always think about it to this depth when I think about my own dreams and my own personal life, but because of this video, I'm just living in that moment as I'm speaking. But I told her, I'm going to make you rich one day, and I'm going to be the one to break the mold in our family tree, and I'll retire you. And that's basically what I said. I'm going to buy you the house. I'm going to take you on that trip. I'm going to do this for you and our family and bring us happily together. I'm gonna be the one. And she told me, "You're the one. I believe in you." And in my early teens, she was always my biggest cheerleader and my harshest critic. She just always had this blind belief that I was special. She always said I was her favorite and I could do something. She helped me build my self-esteem. She cooked me the healthy foods. She got me a treadmill. She praised me for running in the treadmill because at the time I was too afraid to go outside. When I was younger, she used to slap me when I was in bed because I didn't want to get out of bed. And I was just so lazy because it was warm in bed and it was cold out of bed. But we went on a small tangent there, but back to what I was saying. That conversation in the car ride when I told her about my dreams was our last meaningful conversation. Less than a year later, she came back to visit for a few days, and I was stoked that she was coming back. But she came back to visit me, and I realized she was sick. Something was just not right, but she essentially didn't tell us what was going on, and so we just dismissed it. Before she left, she wanted to go on a small trip, but my siblings and I told her we didn't want to do so until we got her checked. And so we got her checked at the doctor, but couldn't find anything wrong. So we said, "All right, when you get back to Hong Kong, make sure you find a doctor. Maybe they can help you there." Turned out it was cancer. It all came far too quickly, and she was just such a strong character, but she knew it was coming all along. She didn't want anyone to worry. She didn't want her kids to know what she was battling, and a few months after, she passed. This was on December 2018. Now, I am someone who observed their mom clawing her way to have the means to support and take back all her children as her ultimate life goal, but she just couldn't do so. She lived alone fighting for herself for years after my mom and dad split up. Now, obviously, when it got serious, she had to tell us she was sick, so my older siblings went back to Hong Kong and worked to take care of her there. I couldn't at the time because I was still in my first year of college, and in hindsight, it makes sense why, in my teens, from 13 to 18, why I was just so distracted to seeking my escapism. Whether it be the drinking, the messing around, the hanging out with friends who weren't a good influence, to the things I can't really mention here, but it was just because I was hiding. And I was looking for external validation from my peers, and I just wanted to make the people around me like me and be happy because the reality is that I wasn't happy. And that led me lost until I realized the promise I made to my mom. So I cut everything off. No more friends. No more wasting energy on things that didn't matter. I had to keep my head straight and just be focused to do and believe strictly that which moved me towards my goals. Now, all that long-winded, the point of this story is, and the reason why I'm sharing this is, to those of you guys with a dream to do something great in your life, and you think you're kind of average and ordinary, maybe you're not the smartest in the world or the best at what you do in the world, and you want to change, maybe I can be an example for that. And am I the person yet? Or am I close to who I even want to become? No, because I'm always trying to raise the standard and the finish line is always moving. But I know for sure, maybe I can provide you the strength, the motivation, the ideas and concepts, some stuff in the brain that can help you put your mind in the right place. Because I know what it's like to be lonely in the pursuit of your goals. Being a lone wolf, so to speak. To get on top of that mountain, and if you're on that kick, if you're on that grind, let's do it together. I'll gladly be a part of your journey. So I want you to think about your why right now, because probably when you were younger, there was someone in your life that made you feel special. Maybe they're even still with you. And if they are, I'm just going to tell you right now that you're lucky. But maybe that person has even passed away. Maybe it was your grandma or grandpa or your parent, somebody, a mother figure, a father figure, but they made you feel special. Mine was my mom. She had every reason not to think I could be special because I never displayed any sign of becoming somebody. She always said, "Son, you're the special one. You can reach any goal no matter how high it is. Always think bigger. You're my favorite." I said, "I am, Mom?" She said, "Yeah, you're the one. You're my favorite." And she probably told all my siblings that secretly. There was 4 of us. But she made me feel special. And if you can remember anyone in your life that was like that to you, and how they made you feel when you were a little boy or a little girl, think about that for a second. You just felt something, didn't you? Like, man, I was born for a reason. I'm special. I'm supposed to be somebody. I'm supposed to make great things happen in my life. And let me tell you, whoever that person was, if you're blessed to have them, listen, they were right. They were right about you. And maybe over the time of your life, you've lost track a couple times, you stopped progressing, you've stopped growing, and you just forget. But I'm here to remind you, they were right. And at the end of your life, I don't know if you're going to live, but I know for a fact that you're going to die. And most people don't live before they die because they're so caught up with their limiting story or beliefs. So, if I have anything to tell you right now, my invitation to you is, why wait? Go live out your dream. Go work for it. If it was easy, everyone would do it and everyone would have their dream life right now. But the reality is, it isn't easy and it's going to be hard. But not living up to your full potential is hard. So you gotta pick your hard, pick your battles, find something worth struggling for, find your oxygen, what makes you alive, your passion that you can't breathe without, and go fully into it and do it for the main characters in your life, your family, your future children. This is your mission, this is your life. Don't do it for someone you don't like, not for the people you don't care about, do it for you. So, to everyone watching, let history be the ultimate judge. Let's make this a great life. I hope this story inspires you and to look at yourself that way. You are special. You are the one. Look at yourself and ask, where do I want to go in my life? Who do I want to become? What can I do? Go out, execute against that, and become whoever I want to become. So guys, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.